Hi, welcome back to Lead Writing Services YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about scene headings, which are also called slug lines in a screenplay. Now a scene heading describes the scene that is being shot. So for example, if you wanted to have a scene in a park, let's say, you would do exterior, the park, in daytime. So EXT means it's outside. The park describes what it is, the park, and then day means it's daylight. So an outside shot in the park during the day, that's what that means. Now if you wanted to make it nighttime, you would do night, okay? It's that simple. Now if you want to make it indoors, obviously you can't have a park indoors unless it's like a bathroom or something. So let's say an example of indoors would be David's bedroom, let's say. Just a random thing. Alright, so interior, INT, means inside. David's bedroom, that means it's a bedroom indoors. And night means it's nighttime. Now, you might be confused, like, why do I have to describe if it's day or night if it's an indoor shot? Well, there could be a window. You know, David's bedroom has a window, let's say. So, it's going to look dark at the window. That indicates it's nighttime. So you want, even if it's an interior shot, you want to have day or night indicated at the end, you know, in case there's a window in the scene. Now, you don't always have to describe the window if it's not significant to the scene. But it's good to put day or night anyway, just for the director's own, just so the director or cinematographer or whoever will know how to set up the scene. But what I want to focus on in this video is interior / exterior, because sometimes a scene can be both interior and exterior. I'll show you. See? IE means interior and exterior. Now you might wonder, how can one scene be both inside and outside? Well, sometimes there's certain scenes where indoors and outdoors are shared together, like if you're in a car and you stick your head out the window, like the driver's inside the car, but he's also talking to somebody outside the car. So in that one scene, you have something going on indoors, and you have something going on outside the car, which is outside. So exterior, interior. You know, like let's say let's say this character gets pulled over by a police officer. The police officer goes up to the car. That'd be interior, exterior, because it shows him inside talking to the cop who's outside. Okay. I'll show you a better example. Alright, let's go back to David's bedroom. Okay, and night. Okay, so you might wonder, what is the difference between interior David's bedroom and interior exterior David's bedroom? Well, let's say we had a scene where there was someone outside his bedroom window trying to, or maybe somebody throws a rock at his bedroom window, and David's asleep on his bed, and then he wakes up and goes to the window. This would be a time when you use interior, exterior. So let's say David sleeps on his bed. The sound of a rock hitting his window is heard. He wakes up. Another rock is thrown at the window, making a knocking sound. David, I'm just making this up off the top of my head. I would normally word this a little bit differently. It's a little sloppy the way I'm wording it, but I'm just using it as an example. David goes to the window and opens it, or slides it open. Slides it open. He sticks his head out. Sarah stands on the lawn looking up at the window. David. Sarah. What are you doing? We had a date tonight, remember? Okay, so what you see here, all right, David's asleep on his bed. That's the interior shot. Sound of a rock hitting his window is heard. He wakes up. Another rock is thrown at the window, making a knocking sound. David goes to the window, slides it open, he sticks his head out. Okay, so all this up here is basically interior, but then when we get to this, there's Sarah stands on the lawn looking up at the window. That's exterior. So interior, exterior. It's one scene that has an interior shot and an exterior shot. Now you might wonder, well, why don't you just make this interior and then do something like exterior, David's bedroom night, you know, and then change this to INT. You might wonder why not do that. Well, then this would be continuous, you know, something like that. You might wonder why not do that. Well, technically you could get away with that, but it's a little too much. There are too many scene headings here, and besides, it is all the same scene, so you don't want to just confuse the director too much. For example, interior David's bedroom, and then you go right to Sarah standing outside, but it's still in the same scene because David isn't doing anything. How do I say this? David is still in the middle of this scene. He goes up to the window, sticks his head out, and then immediately afterwards, Sarah's standing on the lawn, looking up at him while his head's sticking out of the window. So you wouldn't really want to make a new scene while he's still in the middle of his action, if that makes sense. Even if you use continuous, it's still too much, because then what would happen is, stands on the lawn, we got a date tonight, and then let's say David stays silent. Someone knocks on his bedroom door, and then you'd have to go back to David's bedroom, and David walks over to the door. Okay, so something like this, you know, interior here, exterior here, it's all still in the same scene, even though you have 3 different scene headings. That would not look right. It's better to just make it this, and then get rid of this, and then get rid of this. It cleans it up. It consolidates the scene better. And you can get away with this because it's all together. It all revolves around the same scene. The characters are in the same scene. They're just in 2 different places. That's okay. You don't have to have a new scene heading just to describe the other place they're in within the same scene. It doesn't work that way. So I/E. Now let's look at another example. I hope that made sense. It's late at night. I'm a little groggy, so I know I mumbled there for a little bit. I'm a little woozy, but I think you get the idea. All right, so let's look at this example. Let's say David's car night. Okay, so interior, exterior, David's car. For this scene, let's say a police officer walks up to the driver's side window of the car. David sits in his seat nervously. He rolls down the window. The officer approaches. License and registration, please. Yes, sir, officer. Okay. So, interior, exterior, David's car, night. Police officer walks up to the driver's side window. I guess that should be driver's side window. Whatever. Side window of the car. David sits in his seat nervously. So what we have here is this sentence shows exterior. This shows interior. Oh, this does too. This shows interior. And then we have exterior again. Although this could be David sitting in his seat, and then the window shot from inside the car shows the officer approaching. It's really up to the director how he wants to show it. You don't have to get too carried away with like which angle which angle you see the officer approaching, whether it's they show him approaching from the outside or from within the car. That's really up to the director. Just have interior, exterior, that's all that matters. The director will decide which angle to use the cameras at. Yeah, and that's something very important. Don't get carried away with camera angles in the screenplay. Directors and producers don't like that. So don't worry about, oh, like an inside camera shot looking out the window. Don't describe that in your screenplay. Just keep it basic. Interior, exterior, David's car, night. Police officer walks the driver's side window. David sits in his seat nervously. Rolls down the window. Officer approaches. Simple. Okay? And then you have the dialogue. So that's all you need to concern yourself with. Don't worry about camera angles. Okay, so it's a 10-minute video now. I think I'll wrap it up. Yeah, that was basically all you need to know about interior, exterior. If it's if it's a scene that shares inside shots and outside shots, then you use I/E in the scene heading. There's plenty of other examples I could have shown you, like a balcony. If the characters are standing on a balcony, well, balconies are outside, but they're also inside because you're standing on a floor, but you're standing outside looking over a beautiful view of the ocean or something. There's plenty of ways you can use IE. The most popular one is the car scenes where people are in their cars talking to somebody outside the car. That's usually where you would use it the most. Or like in the previous example, the character that throws a rock at the window. Oh, sorry about that. Character that throws a rock at the window, and the character inside sticks their head out the window and sees the character outside. So they're both in two different places, inside, outside, coming together. I.e. All right. Hope that made sense. If it didn't, oh well, the video is free. So subscribe and you'll see some more videos of many different kinds, teaching you things or pronunciation, screenplay videos. I got them all. So subscribe. Thanks.